I told her straight to her face, right there in my own driveway. I'm not tearing down my father's ramp, Linda. Not today. Not ever. She blinked like I just spit in her coffee. Then she whipped out her phone and dialed 911 while screaming, "Officer, we have a non-compliant resident refusing to obey community standards." And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the moment the queen of Maple Grove Estates accidentally called the police on her own boss. Welcome back to the channel where HOA horror stories meet sweet, slow-motion justice. If you're new here, hit subscribe and ring that bell because today we're diving into a tale so deliciously petty, so gloriously backfiring. You'll be laughing through clenched teeth. Grab your popcorn. This one's a masterpiece of cell phone. Maple Grove Estates looked like it was designed by someone who hated joy. Every house the same eggshell beige. Every lawn mowed to exactly 1.75 inches. Yes, they measured. Every mailbox approved Pantone 7536C. Even the damn birds seemed to chirp in 4/4 time. I moved here with my dad after his accident because the brochure promised peaceful, orderly living. What it didn't mention was that orderly was code for we own your soul and your shrubbery. Dad was a retired carpenter. Built half the houses in the next county over. Now he couldn't climb 3 steps without help. So I spent 2 weekends building a simple wooden ramp. Nothing fancy. Pressure-treated lumber, handrail, non-slip surface. ADA compliant down to the last bolt. I even painted it the exact shade of neutral taupe the guidelines demanded. I thought I was being smart. I was wrong. Saturday morning. Coffee still hot. Drill still humming. I'm tightening the last lag screw when I hear the unmistakable sound of sensible flats on concrete. Clop, clop, clop. Like judgment walking. Good morning, Mr. Morgan. Linda Parks, HOA president, clipboard already open like a guillotine. Navy vest. Tight bun. Smile that could curdle milk. Morning, Linda. She doesn't waste time. This structure is not on file with the Architectural Review Committee. It's a ramp for my disabled father. Nevertheless, she says, snapping a photo with her phone like she's documenting a murder scene, any exterior modification requires prior written approval. Page 17, subsection C4. I wipe sawdust off my hands. He can't get into his own house without it. Rules are rules. She taps her pen. You have 72 hours to remove it or face daily fines of $75. I look at the ramp, then at her, then back at the ramp. Linda, this is for a wheelchair. She leans in, voice dropping to that fake concern register. I understand accessibility is important, Robert, but so is community aesthetics. We can't have one person setting precedents. I almost laugh. Almost. Instead I say, I'll submit the paperwork Monday. She brightens like I just handed her a winning lottery ticket. Wonderful. I'll look forward to it. Then she leaves. But not before taking 17 more photos. From every angle, including one of my coffee mug. Apparently it was too brightly colored. That night Dad wheels himself to the window, stares at the ramp glowing under the porch light. Son, he says quietly, maybe just take it down. I don't want trouble. I kneel beside him. Dad, you built things your whole life so other people could live better. I'm not letting some clipboard tyrant take that away from you. He pats my hand. You always were stubborn. Learned from the best. The next morning the yellow violation notice is taped to the front door like a parking ticket from God. Violation 0047. Unauthorized exterior alteration. Daily fine commencing immediately. Administrative processing fee, $125. I take a picture, file it, then I go to work. See, what Linda didn't know, what nobody in Maple Grove knew, was that I wasn't just some random homeowner. I was Deputy Director Robert Morgan, California Department of Housing and Community Development, Division of Community Association Oversight. In other words, I was the guy who audited people like her for a living. And she just started a paper war with the man who signs the audit warrants. The fines arrived like junk mail on steroids. Monday, $75. Tuesday, $150. Now, escalated non-compliance. Wednesday, $225 plus $50 photo documentation surcharge. By Friday, the stack on the kitchen counter looked like a small snowman made of spite. Dad started calling it the fine family. Neighbors noticed. The guy who used to wave now crossed the street. The lady who brought cookies suddenly remembered she was allergic to wheelchairs. Whispers started. That Morgan guy thinks he's special. He's ruining property values. Linda says he's being deliberately defiant. Linda, of course, was conducting her campaign like a pro. She sent an email blast to the whole community. Dear residents, a recent unapproved structure has been brought to the board's attention. While we respect individual circumstances, we must uphold the standards that make Maple Grove the envy of the valley. Please refrain from engaging with the offending party. Let the process work. Translation: don't talk to him. He's contagious. I stayed quiet, printed every notice, photographed every envelope, time-stamped everything. I even started a little spreadsheet titled Linda's Greatest Hits. Then came the certified letter. Final notice before legal action. Accumulated fines, $2,850. Intent to place lien. Failure to comply within 48 hours will result in referral to collections and possible foreclosure proceedings. Dad read it and went pale. They can take the house? No, I said. They want you to think they can. That night I opened my laptop, logged into the state database, searched Parks Community Management LLC. 17 open complaints in the last 3 years. Unauthorized fees. Retaliatory enforcement. Duplicate billing. One from a widow who got fined $400 for excessive holiday lighting on December 26th. I picked up the phone. Ellen? This is Bob. Hypothetical question. 2 days later, I get the email I've been waiting for. Subject: formal complaint intake, Parks Community Management. I smiled for the first time in weeks. The first real confrontation happened on a Tuesday. Linda's SUV rolls up slow, like a shark circling blood. She gets out, clipboard in one hand, phone in the other. Already recording. Mr. Morgan, she calls, loud enough for the whole block to hear. This is your final verbal warning. Remove the structure or I will have no choice but to. I step onto the porch, calm, coffee in hand. Linda, I say pleasantly. Before you finish that sentence, you should know something. She lifts her chin. And what's that? I hold up my phone, show her the screen. California Department of Housing and Community Development. Division of Community Association Oversight. Deputy Director Robert Morgan. Her face does this wonderful thing where it tries to stay haughty and fails spectacularly. You're bluffing. Nope. I sip my coffee. And the next time you threaten foreclosure on one of my homeowners, you might want to check who signs off on your license renewal. She laughs. This brittle. You have no authority here. This is private governance. Wrong, I say. You're a licensed community manager, which means you're regulated by the state, which means I'm your regulator. Silence. Beautiful, glorious silence. Then she tries to recover. This is harassment. No, Linda, this is oversight. She points at the ramp. That thing is ugly. It's functional. It lowers property values. It raises human dignity. She's turning red. You think you're so clever. I interrupt gently. You just reported a violation to the man who writes the violation reports. Her mouth opens, closes, opens again. Then she spins on her heel, marches to her car, and peels out. The neighborhood blinds twitch like they're having a collective heart attack. That weekend, the state audit team shows up. Unannounced. With warrants. They go through every file in Parks Community Management's office. Every bank statement. Every email. Every single fine she ever issued. By Monday morning, 17 homeowners have filed formal reimbursement requests, including the widow with the Christmas lights, including the couple fined for artificial turf being too green, including me. Linda gets suspended pending hearing. And the hearing? Oh, the hearing is glorious. The room is sterile. Fluorescent lights. Long table. 5 board members. One very nervous Linda Parks in a gray blazer that's 2 sizes too big. I sit off to the side. Not as the homeowner. As the deputy director. They project the evidence. Email from Linda to herself. Homeowners never read the CC and RS. Just keep stacking the small ones. Easy money. Screenshot of her spreadsheet. Q4 revenue goals? $18,000 in administrative fees. The board chair size. Ms. Parks, do you have anything to say? She tries. I was maintaining order. By charging people for artificial grass? One member asks. By threatening foreclosure on a wheelchair ramp? Another asks. Her voice cracks. I just wanted everything to be perfect. The chair looks at me. Director Morgan? I stand. Calm. Professional. Under California Civil Code Section 5300 etc. Community managers are fiduciaries. They must act in the best interest of the association, not to generate personal revenue or feed their own control issues. I pause. Let it sink in. What we have here is not management. It's extortion dressed up as enforcement. Linda covers her face. The board doesn't even deliberate long. 12-month license suspension. Mandatory ethics retraining. Full restitution to all affected parties. Permanent note on her professional record. The gavel falls. No one claps. But every homeowner in that room breathes easier. 2 months later, Maple Grove is different. No more daily patrols. No more yellow notices. The new board holds open meetings. They even let people paint their mailboxes whatever color they damn well please. Dad rolls down the ramp every morning. Waves at neighbors. Gets waves back. One Sunday we have a barbecue. Kids running. Music. Burgers. No one mentions aesthetics. Mrs. Lopez from down the street brings her famous flan. She hugs me. Thank you for fighting. I shrug. Just did my job. Linda disappears for a while. Rumor has it she's taking night classes in ethical leadership. Then 8 months later I get an email. Subject: guest lecture invitation. She's teaching a class on HOA compliance at the community college. She wants me to come speak. I go. She stands at the front of the room in jeans and a cardigan. No vest. No clipboard. Just a woman who looks tired. And maybe finally human. When it's my turn, I don't gloat. I just say, rules exist to protect people, not to punish them. The second you forget that, you stop being a manager and start being a bully. She nods. Doesn't argue. After class, she walks me to the door. How's your dad? She asks quietly. Still rolling, I say. Still free. She looks down. I'm sorry. I know. She swallows. Thank you for not destroying me. I didn't. I tell her. You did that yourself. I just held up the mirror. She nods again. Then she does something I never expected. She smiles. Small. Real. Regretful. But real. I walk out into the parking lot. Sun's setting. Sky's orange. Somewhere a lawnmower hums past curfew. And for the first time in years, it doesn't bother me. So tell me, chat, was Linda a monster or just a sad woman who thought control was the same thing as respect? Drop your verdict below. And if you've ever dealt with an HOA Karen who thought the CC and RS were the 10 Commandments, hit like, subscribe, and tell me your story. Because next week, we're doing the guy who got fined for having too many garden gnomes. You're not gonna believe what happened when he fought back. Peace. And remember, sometimes the sweetest justice is just letting the paperwork do the talking.